Greetings! In this video we'll be doing our Level 1 Diagnostic review of Lower Decks Season 1 Episode 2 Envoys. We've already done our warp speed review of the episode, so if you haven't seen that yet, be sure to check that out as well. Also, this is your red alert warning for spoilers, as we will be going into details about the episode. Now, if this is your first contact with us, welcome aboard. My name's Carl Bromley, and this is the Trekkie's Guide to the Galaxy. The series started really strongly, with the premiere episode ticking a lot of boxes in my opinion, and for me, this second episode didn't disappoint. We get to know each of our characters a little more, and the episode is running with two very distinct A and B plots again. But both of them carry what I saw as the theme for this episode: putting other people's needs before your own. So, Boimler has been assigned what he considers to be the best assignment on the ship, an escort mission, piloting General Corrin to Tulgana 4 for a peace talks. Mariner, who, if you recall, has appointed herself to be Boimler's mentor, gets herself put on the assignment as well. Obviously, Boimler's pretty hacked off about this, especially when he finds out that she's leading the mission, not him, and that she knows Corrin from back in the day. Corrin orders Boimler to land at Little Kronos, the Klingon district on Tulgana 4. As Boimler and Mariner leave the shuttle, a well-sullied Corrin steals the shuttle and forces the Starfleet duo to go looking for him. Now, from here on in is where the episode really starts to talk to me on that theme I mentioned. So, Boimler, being Boimler, has researched the hell out of this mission to make sure that he's ready for anything that they might encounter. Mariner, on the other hand, has just kind of come along for the ride. Or so it would seem. You see, what you've got to remember is that we already know the pair have been serving together for a year, but that Mariner has vastly more experience in comparison. And despite her bumptious bravado, she really does value her friends. So I think that when Boimler was bragging to her about the mission, she's kind of gone, he's not going to be able to handle this by himself. Corrin is going to steal the shuttle like he always does, and Brad's going to freak out and end up in all sorts of trouble. Nah, not my pal. So, she gets herself assigned to the same mission to help out her friend. She just hides it well. But it turns out to be a good job she did. I mean, let's count up the number of times that, despite all of his study and research, Boimler finds himself in a sticky spot. Number 1. When inquiring in the marketplace if the owner of the Klingon food stall has seen General Corrin, Boimler repeatedly shows disrespect. Not the best idea in conversation with a Klingon. Number 2. He doesn't pay attention as they're walking through the market, bumps into a taxor and promptly ends up being manhandled for insulting him whilst trying to apologise in the taxor's native tongue for knocking his gak to the floor. Number 3. In the Riser district, Boimler is approached by an Anabaj who can read his thoughts and wants to lay eggs in his throat. Number 4. When searching in the Andorian bar, he accidentally helps a Vindorian thief escape and ends up starting a massive bar brawl. Fortunately, throughout all of the setbacks, Mariner is there, and she's not about to see her friend fail. In fact, I'm not sure that at any point during the mission, she even really puts him down. She offers her point of view and advice, but really, all she's ever doing is trying to encourage him. And after the bar brawl, when Boimler is seriously questioning himself and his future in Starfleet, she hatches a plan. She has an old Ferengi friend stage a stick-up so that she can act dumb and Boimler can save the day, thus helping him regain his confidence. Now okay, Boimler doesn't exactly keep stum about this as he promises. In fact, he goes out of his way to brag about him saving them after Mariner mistaking a Ferengi for a Bolian when they get back to the Cerritos. But Mariner really doesn't care. As his mentor, she's kept her students safe, made sure the mission was a success, given him help and advice along the way that hopefully he'll learn from, and then help build his confidence back up by purposely losing face herself. So I'd say she's definitely qualified as a great example of putting someone else's needs before her own. Now let's look at the other characters and see what they're up to. Rutherford has promised Tendi that he would watch the Trivoli pulsar with her, But he's just finished a solid week in the Jeffries tubes aligning the EPS conduits, and now has 3 or 4 days work ahead of him to calibrate them. Tendy's very disappointed, but Rutherford reassures her that he promised and will not go back on his word. Now, the easy thing to do would be to try and swap shifts with someone, but instead, he tells Tendy that his plan is to change divisions. That way he doesn't have to be in the Jeffries tubes all the time. Bit extreme in my opinion, but hey, let's see where it leads. First, he needs to tell his boss, Chief Engineer Billups. Now, I've been in the position of telling my boss that I want to try something new. It's pretty nerve-wracking, so I can totally get how Rutherford is feeling. But credit to Billups, he knows he's about to lose one of his best engineers, but is nothing but supportive, pointing out that wherever Rutherford ends up, we'll be lucky to have him. So, first he tries command. First Officer Commander Ranson sets him up in a couple of holodeck simulations to see how he copes. Needless to say, it doesn't go well, and he ends up killing 105% of the crew before ejecting all of the ship's children into space. Next, he slips into a blue uniform and joins Tendy in sickbay. He seems to have a natural talent for surgery, comparing various body parts to engineering hardware. Where have I heard that before? Anyway, as good as he is at surgery, his bedside manner, like a lot of other Starfleet doctors we've come across, could use a little work, and he unintentionally ends up scaring the patient almost to death by being too honest. So, Dr. Ta'ana suggests that his lack of subtlety might suit security better. And it looks like he might have found his calling there when Chief of Security Shax puts him in a combat simulation full of Borg drones, and he absolutely annihilates them all. Shax is so impressed that he immediately introduces Rutherford to the rest of his bear pack as a natural. His blood runs yellow and black, and he's never going to have to see the inside of a Jeffries tube again. But along the way, they pass a grubby engineer, crawling out of one of those Jeffries tubes. A bright, shiny, glorious Jeffries tube. A mystical, cramped world, with relays to be calibrated and plasma conduits to be maintained. And naturally, Rutherford comes to the realisation that no matter what else he tries to be, he's an engineer at heart. And so asks Shax for permission to leave the bear pack. And Shax is, of course, thrilled for him, stating that Rutherford's choice to be true to himself is outstanding. All the ship's department's heads were extremely supportive of Rutherford, even though it would have been in their own best interest to keep him. Well, certainly engineering and security anyway, and that on its own is a great lesson for anyone in a leadership position. But you see, the whole point of this story is to show how Rutherford was willing to put the needs of a friend, Tendy, ahead of his own, after not only promising he would watch the pulsar with her, but also after hearing how much it meant to her, as she's not got many friends yet aboard. But as much as he tried, he does eventually have to tell Tendy that he wouldn't be happy as anything other than an engineer, crawling around the Jeffries tubes. So he won't be able to watch the pulsar with her. So again, we get another example of putting your friend's needs before your own, this time from Tendy, as, fortunately, she just wanted the company. So she'll watch the pulsar on a pad from inside the Jeffries tube with Rutherford while he's working. Good job he wasn't trying all of those new jobs just so he could hang out with her. Yeah. Oh, could you imagine? Well, thanks for watching, folks, and please remember to smash the like button for us if you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget, we've got more great reviews coming soon, along with lots of other great content, including our live Sunday night Let's Talk Trek show at 9 PM UK time, so make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications so that you never miss out. And until next time, set a course for home. Warp 6. Engage.